Me? No.
Then you're a pretty confident guy.
No. I wasn't. I would never.
Something wrong with me?
No, I would never have sex. I'm lost.
I'll have sex with you.
Really? Why?
You're asking questions?
Welcome to The Walking Deadcast, the podcast dedicated to the show, The Walking Dead. Hey, Undeadheads, welcome to our podcast. I'm Jason.
And I'm Karen.
And this is The Walking Deadcast, episode 46, right?
46. Mm-hmm.
Coming at you from Charleston, South Carolina.
And Oakland, California.
That's right. I just wanted to, first of all, thanks to all y'all for making us the #1 and most downloaded Walking Dead podcast.
Really?
Which is really cool, yeah. And there's a lot of them now. Do you know how many there are?
2.
No, I checked. There's 486.
Liar.
No, I know. There's like 15. But thank you guys. We really enjoy doing this. And if you guys are into it too, we're very glad.
We love it.
Before we get right into things, I wanted to mention about last episode, something I thought of. You know the twist at the end with Shane popping a cap in Otis's leg?
I know of it.
Well, that felt really familiar to me for some reason. And, you know, it wasn't in the comic because obviously, as we revealed last time, Shane's dead in the comic. But I finally realized why. It's because in the comic, a lot of times Kirkman will have on the last page something like that. He'll have these twists where you go, oh my God. You know what I mean?
The cliffhangers, yeah.
Totally.
No, it's one of the things I love about it.
Yeah, and I don't know if they've really done that so much in the show up until now, but I hope that Kirkman is exerting his influence more and that they'll keep doing more stuff like that. You know, that felt like Kirkman writing. I like
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
And they actually, I mean, they didn't really cliffhanger, but they left on a pretty high note this last episode. I mean, not high necessarily, but a pretty like, oh my God moment this last episode.
Yeah, except, I mean, we'll get into it, but I think most people have figured it out already.
Because we've been hinting at it.
Not just us, but, you know, I mean, like, well, one reason why I say that is we had this contest where you try to guess what Tanner said, and a good 90% of the people have guessed that he said Lori was pregnant. So it's already on everybody's mind.
Yeah, that's true. But I think a lot of those people also are comic book readers that know that that's part of the story.
Oh, yeah, you don't think people would come to that without having read the comic?
That's my theory.
It's hard to know sometimes, you know, how people will see the show because we've read the comic, but just knowing that Lori had an affair with Shane, it would.
Yeah,
I think
it's
some
the
people-
logical conclusion is she's knocked up and who's the daddy?
Right.
Who's my baby daddy?
And since people are, I'll get into this later too, but everybody's complaining that, or not everybody, but people are complaining that the show is getting too soap opera-ish, and that's a very soap opera thing to happen.
Yes. Hey, like this kind of soap opera sometimes.
Yep. On that note, let's move on to Deadcast Top 5.
Attention shoppers, Deadcast Top 5 in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Okay, so what was your rating?
3.5 out of 5 brains.
Oh, I think that's your lowest rating so far this season.
It is.
I hated it.
Yeah, and we'll get into it. But
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say you should go ahead and read your number 5.
Okay, well, my first thing was that before I got into number 5 is even though there was only one zombie in this episode, I really liked it a lot.
And the one zombie really did become 2 zombies.
That's true because they're both halves are still thrashing around.
It was an enormous zombie.
Okay, my number 5 is I'm happy that they explained where the water and electricity came from.
Yeah, so I was reading a little bit, one of the listeners wrote in about that, but I did not notice what the listener noticed who wrote in, so why don't you go ahead and talk about that?
Okay, well, first of all, Maggie mentioned that they had several wells.
Right, they got 5 wells in the property.
Yeah, so there's your water. And then she mentioned just really quickly when she was talking, oh, now I can't remember who she was talking to somebody about where to get containers for the water, because she was telling him to help himself, and she said they're in the generator shed out behind the house. She said it really quickly.
Yep.
So, and I'm glad they did that quickly because it, you know, like I said, it doesn't really. It would have been really bad for them to have electricity going on in the house and not have an explanation for it. And I trusted them enough to know that they would have one.
Yeah.
And I don't think they should spend a whole lot of time on these kind of things. I mean, it is weird because, you know, a lot of people who love zombie fiction, they really like to think about the nuts and bolts of how you'd survive, right? That's a huge part of it. And it's even a big part of the comic, Kirkman, and it's one of the things I like about the survivalist aspect of it, right? But it's also doesn't make for very good TV, in my opinion. You spend too much time on it. If you ignore it, that's bad. You know, if you like do things that aren't or don't make sense or aren't possible. But if you just spend a lot of time showing exactly how they build a camp or where they find, you know, how they find a can opener or something like that. I mean, even Kirkman has said about his comic, he's like, you know, they could really go into more detail about those kind of things, but he has to figure out where to draw the line.
Right. And I think, didn't the listener who wrote in, didn't he mention a windmill?
Yeah, I didn't notice that either, but yeah, I guess there's a windmill on the property. I still think, though, that even though they have wells and a generator, they should still be conserving. So it's kind of...
Aw, thank you, Jason. Little shout out for water conservation.
They really do need some kind of water conservation specialist or something like that.
Everybody needs a water conservation specialist. I can't believe we put that in the podcast finally.
Okay, that's my number 5.
Okay, my number 5 would have to be, speaking of that well zombie, is the zombie done well. I loved it. I loved the big fat, awesome zombie, and I love that he kind of exploded into 2 zombies. And I just, it makes sense that, you know, zombies get hot places, and zombie's not incredibly bright, especially a large guy like that, falls down into the well, kind of hard to do, but evidently he did it, and he's down there being really gross and Jabba the Hutt like at the bottom of the well. Loved
It was great that they made him all bloated and waterlogged.
Yes! Ew!
That's a good idea.
And they just kind of fell apart. They didn't actually.
Yeah, that's true, huh?
Yeah, he just kind of fell apart. Yeah, they're just trying to pull him over the edge, and structural integrity just kind of gave way.
It's like a good, you know, chicken when it just falls right off the bone.
Yes, I'm sure he was delicious.
Okay, that's your number 5?
That's number 5.
My number 4 is Carl wearing the hat. Which people who haven't read the comic probably don't understand why we care so much about that, but it's one of those iconic visuals from the comic that's come to life on the screen.
Yeah.
And when I was watching this episode, I was actually kind of thinking that, you know, this might be the time for Rick to pass it along to Carl after they've had this experience.
Yep, exactly.
And I thought Carl was actually really good in the scene. You know, finally we're seeing some more scenes of him where he's not just good at like convulsing and stuff, but actual other kinds of acting. and I thought he was good in, you know, the scene where Rick gives him the hat. And I really, you know, I hate to say this, but I think Andrew Lincoln is I wish he would not emote quite so much as Rick.
Really?
Yeah, he's just so heavy in all his scenes. And in this scene, Carl was so understated. Like he goes, love you, Dad. And Rick goes, I love you. You know, just like the contrast. I don't know. I mean, you know, it's a heavy situation, but he's also supposed to be the leader. And so I want to really believe that all these people are going to look to him for answers. And if he's too emotional, then, you know, it seems a little like you might not trust him to hold it together enough to, you know, lead the group. That's what I think.
I think he's getting loopier and loopier though.
He is, yeah, and in the comic, and supposedly even in the show, you know, he even said in this episode, people are looking to me to provide leadership or answers or something like that. So if that's true, then I really want to see in his character. But you know, then on second thought, you look around at this group, and there's probably nobody else that I would follow either. So maybe he is the one that's the one you follow.
He's all that's left.
Yeah. And then just one last thing on this, I like the scene right after that where Rick was putting away his badges in his uniform, and I think it's going to be better with him in regular clothes because he kind of looks like a bit of a caricature now. And so I'm glad he's doing that as he did in the comic. But I was a little confused by it too because it almost made it seem like he'd come to some decision, like it's time to put this uniform away, and you'd think that was because he was thinking, they don't need me to be a cop anymore or something like that. But that didn't really resonate with anything else in the episode, so I don't know if it really did have any meaning or it was just okay, I don't have my hat anymore, so let's not wear the uniform or something like that.
Didn't it kind of resonate a little bit with like this was after he talked to Herschel, and I think this whole thing was sort of came out logically after his talk with Herschel, which by the way is my number 4. Rick and Herschel talking. I'm getting a little sick of the is there a God question. But it was I love the actor who plays Herschel. I really
he's
love
good.
him. Yeah, he's
so how did the uniform thing play off of that?
Yeah. I mean, Rick, this Herschel's trying to figure out, are you a man of God? Are you a man of belief? And Rick finally, admits, I don't know. I don't think God's listening to our prayers right now. I think it's just pretty much us right here. And he's feeling out of hope, and he's feeling abandoned, and he's feeling like he's being kind of a crap leader, and he's feeling like a bad dad. He let Carl down, and I think all of that culminates when he puts his badges away in the drawer and takes off the uniform, and he just becomes, instead of Sheriff Rick, he's just Rick.
But the thing is that I believe he, at least if this follows the comic and this isn't giving that much away, he's going to continue to lead the group after this.
Oh, he will.
Yeah, so if what you're saying is true, that he's had this talk with Herschel and he decided he's a crap dad and he's going to put the uniform away, well, does that mean that he's now not going to lead? Because if it goes with the comic, then he is going to lead. So then how does it make sense that he's giving up his uniform if he's still going to continue to lead?
He's stepping down from the sheriff, but he's not stepping down from the leader. He's gonna keep leading, but I think he's feeling it was kind of a low point, and he's feeling a little bit diminished, but he's gonna keep going. I think it's gonna get way better and way worse. That's just my theory.
Sure. Anything more on that?
Nope.
On that one? Okay. My number 3 is a little broad, but it's that I thought it was a good episode, even though it only had one zombie. I like that they have these. I've said before, but when they change up the pacing between episodes, so this was more of an episode where they're fleshing out characters. It's a bit quieter, but I really did find just about the whole thing to be really entertaining. I thought a lot of interesting, fun, and engaging things happened, like Glenn and Maggie getting together. That was probably the highlight. I like the beginning that they put Shane on the spot, making him give Otis's eulogy.
Yep.
Even that standing there and Otis's big clothes hanging off of him awkwardly. That mystery behind the Green family, they're all like giving each other looks, and they're obviously not wanting people to kill zombies. So you're wondering what's up with that.
Yep.
And he's got his rules that he needs everybody to follow. So it's and then I thought the dialogue was pretty good. I have a couple examples when that scene that you just mentioned when Herschel pulled Rick aside. He said, look at this, and it's good to pause for an occasional reminder. Rick said, of what? And I thought Herschel was going to say, of God's grace or whatever, but he just said, whatever comes to mind. So I like that little touch, and it was very intelligent. And then the other one was when Rick tells Daryl, you don't know what's anything. Daryl says, my other plans fell through. So that was pretty good. I was glad to see T-Dog apologizing for what he said before, because his character up until then had been pretty compassionate and kind of just this laid-back guy. And so I thought maybe he was going off character in that scene, but it really was just because he was delirious.
Eva. Yeah, blood poisoning could do that too.
Yeah, so I'm glad that they corrected that. And then finally, people are, like I said, dissing on Walking Dead, calling it a soap opera. I do think it veers into soap opera territory, but I think soaps have people acting out of character just for drama's sake, and whatever the soap veers in a weird direction and the characters all just change in order to accommodate the story. But I hope Walking Dead won't do that they'll stay true to the characters, and that will save it from being too much like a soap. I think it does get melodramatic, and they do dwell on feelings a lot, and I think sometimes the characters are too quick to say exactly what's on their mind. I don't think people in real life do that a lot. In fact, I think a lot of people don't even really know what their motivations are. So I do think it gets a bit too soap, but I think people are being too harsh on it. I don't think it's like as cheesy like a soap can be. Have you ever watched any soaps?
Yes, when I was in high school or junior high school, my girlfriends and I watched All My Children. And later on, looking back on it, I'm thinking, oh my god, I can't believe I spent a lot of lunchtime watching All My Children. Oh, yeah.
So do you think Walking Dead is like a soap then?
No.
No way.
Yeah. No. Walking Dead is a fabulous drama about what happens after a zombie apocalypse.
So there you go. Okay, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is more of a gripe than anything, and that is I'm getting sick and tired of useless Carol, cleaning out the RV for Sophia. It's out there looking for Sophia.
Mm-hmm.
Although I know that it was sort of setting up one of my favorite scenes, which I'll touch on a little bit, which is Daryl. It's still I'm getting kind of tired of old Carol.
Okay. Well, do you think she shouldn't be grieving as much, or that she should just be doing something?
Doing something instead of being useless and snotty.
She's snotty. Wait, what? I guess people are telling her it's gonna be okay, and she's like, okay, I've heard enough.
I want to hear it. Yeah, very snappy.
Yeah, just because her daughter's missing.
Suck it up, Carol.
How many kids do you have?
Shut up.
0. Okay, my number 2.
We're trying.
My number 2 is Zombie in the Well. I thought that was really great. That he was all waterlogged and dirty looking, and I thought it was funny that he doesn't like canned ham.
I know, I love that.
That was so good. They're like, he's not going for it. And then Andrea says, we need live bait, and I'm thinking, yeah, like Otis. And he kind of reminded me of something out of Evil Dead.
Yes,
you think about that? Like the old woman, swallow your soul. Because he was thrashing around and going,
I completely agree. And I was actually kind of shocked we didn't go for the canned ham.
and then I love that Glenn managed to get the rope around him. He thought he was totally helpless, but he came through like a hero, like he always does.
And by the way, wasn't it, in my opinion, I can't remember anything. God, I just can't believe how negative I'm being. But sort of a dumb plan, lowering Glenn into the well.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, they could just sort of. I think they could easily have like lowered a rope down there and kind of gotten the rope around the creature. And
also, they're like, oh, we don't want to shoot him because it might contaminate the water. It's like, dude, if the zombie's been swimming around down there, I wouldn't want to drink out of that water. You know what I mean?
It's nice and clean now.
That was a little weak that they were worried about that. And also, I thought the rope work was a little weak. It looked like they were pulling him up pretty far, and then when you look back down the well, he was still in the same spot. And then I watched the whole time. He never looked like he even came close to getting that rope around the zombie, but then when he came up, he was all happy with himself. So it was a little, it had its, you can pick it apart a little bit, but I still thought it was unique and fun and everything. And it was good to show a waterlogged zombie. It was kind of funny. And
a way to impress Maggie.
Yes, that was like number one thing.
Look at my mad zombie roping skills.
They totally got laid.
Look at the way he ropes a zombie. I get me
Like,
started. Your next one?
that was mine.
That was yours? Oh, you were last one. Okay, my next one is Daryl, the story of the Cherokee Rose for Carol. I thought it was really sweet. I'm a sap, and I fell for it hook, line, and
He's
sinker.
so poetic.
Yeah, it was
Sensitive.
I saw some blogger referred to him as a secretly heroic type like Han Solo. He kind of is. He's kind of, yeah, exactly. He's kind of a jerk, but kind of a great jerk. Secretly sensitive. So.
Well, one thing about that scene, I thought it was a little corny, but one thing I did like about it is the whole story was about all these little kids being lost on the Trail of Tears, and it just made me realize that one reason why Daryl might be holding out hope for Sophia is because his brother is lost.
Yeah.
And he still wants to find his brother, so he's like, well, if I give up on, I don't want to give up on my brother, so I'm not going to give up on Sophia either. Well, so that kind of makes sense a little bit.
And let me ask you, in the house, that abandoned house, did he find traces of Sophia? I mean, it looked
I
like
think so, yeah. But he figured, why bother telling anybody? I mean, I don't know why actually, but yeah, it looked like it. Yeah, he smelled the sardines and they were new, and there was a little like bedding and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. All those sardines on the rope, you tell that they're new.
No, you can tell.
Can you?
Well, I don't know. Let's try it. We'll leave one out next week. We'll let you guys know. Okay,
what's your number one?
Oh, we'll see. My number one is that Maggie and Glenn hooked up.
Yeah, that's my number one too.
Yeah, I thought it was funny, and it surprised me. You know, I think I mentioned last week that in the comic she was much more forward. I didn't realize I was actually giving a spoiler when I said that because she totally did it this time.
Yep.
But it was well done, I thought.
I thought so too. Although the hardware store, I mean, you think at least they'd go somewhere cozy, like say the barn.
I
Or...
know. Well, no, yeah, pharmacy. Yeah, but they didn't even look around and scope the place out first.
Right, exactly. Like, okay, let's do it right now. And I was actually sort of hoping that, I mean, in the comic, they Glenn makes it known that he's a virgin. He's never had sex, and is that right? I mean, he basically says I've never done it before.
so,
I'm a
yeah.
virgin.
Yeah, I don't think he's a virgin in the show. Not anymore for sure, but I don't think he is. I don't know why I think that though. I thought he might have made some reference to a past girlfriend or something. I don't know. But he played it so well. The scene, you know, he finds the condom and she calls him on it, and it was just really funny.
He's embarrassed and sweet,
Yeah.
and he's fabulous.
I mean, you have this, you know, crush on Glenn. He has this way of being humble and awkward, but at the same time really smart and capable. You know, how do you not like somebody like that?
Yep, I agree completely.
And I thought this sequence was another reason why it was good. Is it's just another reminder of how, you know, the show can be depressing and oppressive because everything's gone to hell. But also, people have more freedom and they don't have to go by the old rules of society. And that's how Maggie is. She's like, forget it. We're in the apocalypse. I don't care if it.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So,
Although she kind of implied that it was a one-off.
she didn't imply it. That's what she said. But that's what he'll come. You know, she'll come around. She was just didn't like the shitty grin on his face. That's why she said that. Did you see him?
Yeah, he was happy.
Yeah.
You know that guy. Come on.
That's pretty funny. Okay, that's your number one too. Huh?
Yeah.
Now, I just have a couple more notes. So now that we know Lori is pregnant, do we still think that's what Jenner told Rick? Because they revealed it in a different way.
Maybe not. Maybe he tells him something completely different.
That'd be cool. I think he'd be surprised by that.
I would too. Yeah, I absolutely would. I mean, and the fact that wasn't how we found out that Lori was pregnant makes me think that it is something else.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I thought either it is something else or they're like, okay, everyone's guessing what he said, so let's just drop it. We're not clever.
Yep. By the way, what the heck does Shane's necklace signify? Do you know that?
No, what is it?
Yeah, he's wearing the necklace in the and you can really see it this last episode. It says 22. It's just 22. And I wanted to know if you knew what it symbolized or anybody knows what it symbolizes. And he has this listeners?
I have some listener top 5. Should I read them?
Yes. Do
Okay, actually, here is a call.
Hey, it's Josie, the Shane hater. Anyway, I decided to give you guys my top 5 things that have irked me, have intrigued me. One, I'm kind of intrigued about Shane's new look, his puppy dog / farmer look, but also because we know what he's done, we're kind of scared of him. I don't know. And my other one is Lori's pregnancy. I always feel like every time there's infidelity, they throw in a pregnancy just to fuck everything up. I just feel like it's kind of one of those things they do, and I don't know, it's expected. And my last is for Karen. Yes, Leonard's awesome because he's badass, and you know when the job needs to be done, it will be done. Even if he's dangling in front of some gory, fat-looking zombie, he still gets the job done. Even though what was T-Dog doing standing there watching the body get split open? That was ridiculous. Like I was like, why would you rope the legs? Just grab the legs and flip him over. He's just watching it. You know, he's not even saying, hey, look, you know, maybe we should reapproach it. You know, it looks like it's gonna tear. No, he just stands there. T-Dog is the most useless character on the show. Like, honestly, you better redeem yourself because I'm tired of that. Anyway, that is my rant for this week's Walking Dead. Thank you. Have a good day.
Everybody hates T-Dog.
Thanks for calling.
I like T-Dog. I don't know why everybody. I mean, he's a klutz.
I actually agree with her 100%. And but except that I would also say that that he and Carol are the co-useless characters.
They should get together.
Yes, they should, and then decide to go off on their own.
Steal a couple horses and get the hell out. Well, I think T-Dog's gonna redeem himself. And the pregnancy thing, you're right, it's a bit cliched. It was in the comics, so it was kind of fun to see it on the screen.
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Okay, next is Dear Karen Jason, Forrest and Megan in Pennsylvania have united to offer our joint top 5 this week. Unfortunately, I had to throw in an extra because we couldn't agree what to cut out. Number 6, Rick and Herschel's philosophical discussion overlooking the valley. Very good. Number 5, Shane wearing Otis suspenders and oversized clothes. He looked like a goober.
He did look like a goober.
Number 4, Carl getting Rick's hat. It's an iconic moment from the comic book clicking into place. Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, Lori's down home pregnancy test out by the rusted farm implements. The pee sound was really loud. Did you notice that?
Yes, and you want to catch that morning pee, Lori, and wait,
not the night pee.
and wait like 5 minutes. Just saying.
Yeah, exactly. If it comes up right away, you have a zombie baby. Okay, number 2, Maggie becoming a temptress and Glenn grinning like an idiot on the horse he ride home. And number 1, the bloated swimmer breaking in half like a gooey cream horn. Very good. Honorable mention goes to the survivors whipping out the county topo maps to plan the search for Sophia as a county environmental planner. I geeked out on that moment.
Aw, yay, environmental planners.
Yay. And then there's one more. This one's from Michelle. She says, number 5, Lori Preggers. I think it was handled very well with Lori sending Mr. Go-Get-It Glenn to retrieve the key stick apparatus for her. Glad to see the pregnancy come to light early in the season. Me too. Number 4, slight tension between Rick and Daryl. The struggle with testosterone and predominance was good for Rick. We don't want him too comfortable as a leader. Yeah, I agree. Good to have a little struggle. Number 3, more Dale and Andrea. They're on their way to a full reconciliation and I couldn't be more giddy. Stay away, Shane. Wait, did Dale and Andrea talk in this one? Not much, right?
Not much. Maybe she meant Dale.
No, just said Dale.
Oh,
Okay.
Dale. No, they didn't talk much.
Yeah, maybe a little, but I think maybe they just had some like idle talk that we forgot about, which could mean because they're around the well and stuff. I don't know for sure. Anyway, number 2, sleeper hole, the hide closet Daryl found in the abandoned house. Boy, do I want to know more. Well, I can't read the next part because it's a bit of a spoiler, so maybe I'll read it when we get to the next week's section. And number 1, the duck moment with the zombie retrieval. Haha, all that work for nothing. That was funny. And then she asks, do you think Glenn went into the well to rope a zombie out of habit of putting himself in the way of danger because he has nothing to live for, or to show off for Maggie?
Oh yeah, he's definitely a son to live for now.
Yeah.
How cute was it when he was checking out Maggie in the binoculars and all of a sudden Lori came into the view? He's like,
I like how he can be a little a young man sometimes. He's checking her out and then later on he's trying to show off. He's like, I usually do this alone. I'm a solo kind of guy, just trying to be badass.
Right.
So he's not always perfect. But I think he did it for both. I think he did it out of habit, but he was probably a little extra motivated to get that rope around the zombie to show off for Maggie.
And I also have to say it's nice that a horse in this episode did not get eaten. They rode 2 horses and the horses did not get munched. Yay.
For once. Okay, shall we move on?
Let's do.
Okay, let's move on to news about Walking Dead. Now, this week and next week, the cast and crew are hard at work wrapping up filming for season 2. So that might be one reason why there's not much news this week, but here's a couple of tidbits. There was an interview with Irony Singleton, who plays T-Dog at culturalmob.com, and he says, quote, T-Dog is on a serious journey of self-discovery. The fans will soon find out that side of T-Dog when the writers shift focus on him, and he rides off into the sunset with Carol. That's so weird. So, from what they say, I mean, people speculate always that he's zombie fodder since he hasn't done that much, but they keep hinting that there's more story with T-Dog to come.
Well,
I predict you will change your mind about him.
Okay. And Carol.
We'll see. I don't know. I think they'll still hate Carol.
That's probably true.
Okay, an article at bookwa.com says, basically saying it's hard to get to know and feel attached to the characters in The Walking Dead because we're only seeing how they act in a really stressful situation and we can't see how they are in day-to-day life or like what they're like when they're having fun. It says, quote, the second season of The Walking Dead would do well to take a note from Lost, a serialized drama that also had its characters under constantly dire circumstances, but was able to develop them fully through good use of flashbacks. So do you think that that Walking Dead should do exactly like Lost did and just show several flashbacks so we can see what they're like when they're not threatened by zombies?
Yeah, I like the flashbacks. I like peering into normal life, but Kirkman, who is canon, did not really do that in the comic, at least not as far as I've read.
Mm-hmm.
So, if Kirkman didn't do it, they don't need to rely on it either. I mean, they certainly can. It worked real well with Lost, but they didn't need to do it for the comics, maybe they don't need it for the show.
I have a feeling that at some point, if the show really takes on a life of its own, that they will, and I even think should, really depart from the comic. But I want Kirkman to be there so that he can add those Kirkman-like moments like he did with Shane.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, I think if they did the flashbacks like Lost, it would be good, but I don't think it's necessary. Yeah, I guess not. Okay, let's take a little break. There's more to come. Stay with us.
And the hot and the dark and the sound and the sound and the sound of the aching hours and the sweat and the stain of the instant burns. In the dark with the rolling dice, Mr. Splifford nods once and twice.
We're back, and it's time for listener moans, groans, and grunts. So we got a bunch of emails and maybe a call. You go ahead.
Great. Okay, this one comes from Joshua. A few thoughts about last night's episode. They mentioned a generator house or something, and I also saw the windmill while Dale and T-Dog were getting water, so that solves the power debate. When Rick and Herschel were admiring the view, I think that it was Herschel testing Rick to see where his faith was and if he even had faith. That's probably true too. Was it me or did Herschel seem like he was hiding something in the barn? And lastly, more Glenn. Yeah, I agree. Bring it on.
We can't comment on any of that.
I just did.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, Joshua. Thanks for
Thanks for writing in. Very perceptive. From Evan, can anyone identify the patch on Glenn's shirt pocket? It looks an awful lot like a Cub Scout wolf head. Not exactly the same as a Cub Scout patch, and I'm pretty sure it's not a Boy Scout patch at all. But every time I see it, it just kind of bugs me. Anyone know for sure? Do you know?
I don't know. Listeners, what do you think? The patch on Glenn's shirt. Maybe the patch was awesome. Bye.
Studley. No,
That's right.
yeah, I could see him being an Eagle Scout or something.
That would be really goofy though. I can't be.
You're
He's not an Eagle Scout.
right.
He
You're
just, he borrowed that shirt from like the
Some dead guy.
yeah, exactly.
Okay. Listen, I guess I gave myself this next to you. This one's from John. Hey guys, love the show. I just had a thought to share after listening to show 45. Daryl had shown a bit of racism early on when he told Glenn something to the effect of, "You got a lot of balls for a Chinaman." While that may not be enough evidence to call him a racist, he did show that at least he's racially ignorant / insensitive. That being said, I think his actions since then have proven him a valuable asset to the group and a good guy in general. Keep up the good work, John. So in my opinion, he's probably not a politically correct kind of guy, and he has some racial insensitivities. But personally, I don't like I don't know. I don't like political correctness. I also don't like racial sensitivity. So I don't know.
Good luck at that, Jason.
But you know what I mean? Like I don't like it when people are too focused on making sure everybody says things exactly the right way.
I do. Yeah. But on the other hand, you don't want to be a jerk and drive around on a racist
Right.
motorcycle.
But I guess I like to give people not just like if they say something like that, write them off. You know?
Yeah.
'Cause, you know, everyone. I don't know. Everyone has their no one's perfect. So
Except
Glenn.
us.
Glenn.
Okay.
Okay. Next.
This next question to me. Okay, guys, you're killing me here. I've been involved with tactical self-defense training for the past 15 years. Jason, police are not trained to shoot people in the legs. Police are trained to shoot center mass because it stops the person fastest, and they don't try to get up and kill you. Shane knew exactly what he was doing when he shot Otis in his leg. Otis would go down, making lots of noise and trying to get away, attracting lots of attention. Jason, your thoughts?
I think well, Karen is the one who told me that, so I just believe her. That's it. No, I'm just kidding. No. Actually, we've been getting a lot of emails and Facebook posts about this, and I realized when I got the very first one that when I said that oh yeah, police are trained to shoot people in the legs, there was a little voice in the back of my head saying, you don't know how police are trained. So I'm pretty sure that I was pretty sure they're not trained to shoot people in the head, but everyone has said consistently that they're actually trained to go for center mass. So I think that yes, I agree, especially considering this episode they made a reference to zombies needing live bait. That's why he did it. He wanted Otis to be thrashing around so that they would all swarm on him. So sorry about that. I'll try to not talk out of my ass from now on.
Good luck with that.
And I do appreciate all these guys who have first-hand experience with that kind of thing. Writing in, tell us what. That's
Please
cool.
write it. Thanks, Tony.
Yeah. My turn. From Kelly. Don't think that there are locusts in Georgia, and cicada generally sing during the daytime, so I put my money on crickets and katydids. Cool thing is that each type has a fairly unique song, so it might be possible to figure out what they actually hear. If you're so inclined, and then she gave me this website with all these different buggy sounds, like
Music of Nature
here's a
Network.
scissor grinder cicada. Oh, that actually sounds... No, that's not it.
That's the most annoying sound in the world.
I'm just going to keep playing that. Here's the dog day cicada. Wow, that's loud. That could really get... Here's a 17-year cicada. Cicada. Amazing. Here's a katydid. None of these really sound exactly like what they're hearing. Here's a cricket. That one. Anyway, I thought that was pretty cool, but I'm going to have to keep... There's like 30 of these, so I'll look through and see if I can find the right one. But
Is there a zombie noise on musicofnature.org?
yeah, here it is. It's a zombie katydid. No, there's not. But you know what? The cicada sound that I'm talking about is in the daytime. I think there's other insecty sounds at night, but the one I'm talking about is in the daytime.
Yeah,
On
when I
the
went to Austin, Texas one summer, I was at this fabulous outdoor swimming hole, really amazing place. Austin is like one of my favorite towns in the whole world, and it was tons and tons of cicada sounds everywhere. It was pretty neat, and you kind of tune out after a while. And
Yeah.
it's kind of neat.
Because I think Grace, who's from Georgia, wrote in and said she didn't even hear the sound on the show, so maybe she's tuned it out.
Yeah, she has.
Oh yeah, and she goes on. The thing that bothered me about their having the farm's porch light on, forget zombies, the mosquitoes would be eating them alive. But I guess they need the light on for Otis and Shane, so that's one way that you could rationalize why they have the light on.
I don't know, the house is lit like a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
It seems like you could let the light on the porch off. I don't know.
Yeah, because Otis, you'd think, would know how to find his way back there without.
Yeah, you don't really need the porch light on, but and yes, the mosquitoes would have eaten them alive. I completely agree.
They probably did too.
Great. This next one comes from Ken. Shane shot Otis in the leg on purpose for 3 reasons. 1, to cover his escape. 2, Otis could scream to continue to draw zombies. And 3, to cover his tracks. Dead Otis with headshot would create questions where Otis was a walker and would back Shane's story. So here's my thought on that. Shane could easily have said, look, I shot him in the head because he was a zombie, and I was putting him out of his misery.
Yeah, I don't think he was really thinking that far ahead. I think it's number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you, Ken.
Thanks, Ken. Okay, next one from Jonathan. Shane pulling that move on Otis was pretty horrifying, but the show is based on the comic, and I couldn't tell you how many times I was shocked while reading that. It's nice to see Kirkman not pulling any punches for television. So yeah, this is kind of what I was talking about before. I
Right.
totally agree with that.
Right, exactly.
Okay, here is a call that we got.
Hi guys, I just wanted to call and say I really love your show. I'm currently deployed in the Middle East. Get you guys on podcast, so it's fun. Got a little bit of a distraction. While I work there, so I'm able to download the Walking Dead. I'll buy $3 a pop. If you guys my teams, I just wanted to call and give you guys a big thumbs up on your show. And I also wanted to give you something you can play my zombie sound to a little bit of music. It goes like this. Me so hungry, me so hungry, me so hungry. It's a long time. All right, guys, they're all bye.
You know why I like that one? Because it's like, oh man, this is heavy, and then it wasn't heavy.
Name.
I noticed he didn't leave his name.
He's a nameless soldier deployed in the Middle East. Thanks, son. We love you. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for calling in. I'm glad to hear we can help you take your mind off things a little bit. And seriously, I like it when the military calls in.
I do too.
Awesome. Thank you for everything you're doing for us. We had one tweet. Andy Longo, he asks, why was the zombie in the well? What is Herschel hiding? Surely they knew a zombie was in the well. Interesting question.
If you knew there's something out there to go get the water, right?
Oh yeah, they would have said, why don't you avoid well number 3 over there?
Right, exactly.
Right.
But Maggie
Yeah.
pretty much directed them right to that well. So.
If you hear anything, it's probably just a dog he likes to play in the well. Shall we move on?
Yes.
Let's move on to comic talk. Usual, what do you call it? Disclaimer. If you don't want to hear any spoilers, skip this section there. This one will have some definite spoilers, so if you haven't read the comic, you probably want to skip it. How is it similar?
Again, the cool, iconic moment that you mentioned before, Rick giving his hat to Carl.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That was great. That was definitely. I mean, in the comic, they're at the farm. Herschel saves Carl. Carl makes a recovery, and that's all exactly the same.
Is that? Did you go back and look through this?
I did,
again?
yeah.
Is that when Carl gets the hat?
Oh, you know what?
Yeah,
That I didn't
I think he
see.
already had it on. Yeah, I think he already had it on. 'Cause I think he had it on when he shot Shane.
Yeah, I think he did too.
Actually, Maggie was really friendly like she is in the comic. And,
Right, and I'm almost positive that Glenn says, "Look, I've never done this before. I don't want to die virgin." And she's like, "Look, I'm texting you. I'll do
oh
it."
yeah. And I had a similar feeling like I did in the comic that it seemed a little like unhealthy, like too quick,
Mhm.
But then over time, the relationship in the comic has gotten deeper and more real. So we'll see if that happens in the show too.
Yeah, right. I hope so. Because yay for
Yeah,
Glenn.
be cool.
Yeah.
You find-
Herschel alluding to rules that need to be followed exactly, and maybe Rick's group doesn't stay for very long unless they can follow these rules. That's like the comic, and we'll find out why.
yeah, speaking of why, we finally see the barn and it's huge and it's way off in the distance, so it makes sense that you wouldn't hear anything coming out of it.
And he tells them not to camp near there.
Yes.
He can't camp near the house.
Yeah, that's one thing that I really liked. I like knowing what's coming up with the barn and noticing all the foreshadowing that they're putting in. You know, when they talk about killing zombies or they even do kill one, you can tell that the family has a real distaste for that,
Right.
and they don't want them camped near the barn. And probably it's like Uncle Jed down in the well or something.
Fat Uncle Jed.
Yeah, he used to be really skinny.
A lot of brains.
Yeah.
They're fatty.
Mr. Blog wrote in.
Oh,
Wait, did you have any more about this?
Nope.
Okay, I'll read Mr. Blog's thing. He says, my number one favorite aspect of this episode is the fact that there are at least 4 direct comic references. Best of all was Carl getting Rick's hat. The other 3 being the pharmacy lovin', Lori's pregnancy, and Herschel telling Rick and company they can't stay. Consolation prize. I very much adored the conversation between Shane and Andrea and foreshadowing of Andrea's greatness. That's right, Andrea haters greatness. I still think Shane is a douche with bad mom genes and slightly rapey tendencies, but if he helps Andrea, he can't be that bad.
And may I point out freaky earlobes?
Yes, you never mentioned that before. They are to miss. I never noticed it. Now I can't look away.
You're welcome.
And then John wrote in. He said, if Otis does come back zombified, pulling himself back to the farm like Anakin out of lava, it will be a great way to introduce Herschel's barn. Which I think is totally true. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, they're like, oh,
Like
just
out
out
of
the
habit, Otis just sort of pulls himself back.
Yeah, and then Herschel's all, get the dog, herd him into the barn, or whatever.
I personally think there really isn't that much left of Otis to call back. If he has arms, I'd be shocked.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing in zombie movies. Every time you see a character get attacked, they just get eaten up, but yet somehow there's tons of zombies around.
Exactly.
Okay, let's move on to the next.
All right, next week on The Walking Dead. So next week's episode is called Chupacabra. It is written by David Leslie Johnson and directed by Guy Ferland. And the little weird little description, which never really reveals all that much, is concerned for their safety. The group makes a plan, one that Herschel disagrees with adamantly. He makes it clear the group is that it's fine to stay for now, but not indefinitely. That's it.
Did you watch the next week on The Walking Dead segment?
I didn't want to be spoiled.
Okay, well, I'm going to spoil you right now. Sorry. You can stop listening for a couple minutes,
Yeah, okay.
because I want to say it, but if you don't want to be spoiled, go to the next
No,
section.
no, no.
I'm talking to listeners. But you can't do that. I'd be impressed.
Okay,
Tell me what we're going to say. Okay, so in the scenes from next week, they showed Merle. Dun, dun, dun.
They did.
Yeah. So my theory, and I think actually somebody wrote in about this, so I'm stealing it, but my theory is that Merle has Sophia.
Oh,
They're together.
he comes back with Sophia, redeeming himself.
No, because they've spent all this time making Daryl out to be this sensitive hero, so I think there's going to be a huge conflict.
Because and Daryl really did foreshadow it. With the whole Cherokee Rose. I don't hold out any hope for my brother.
Yeah.
Aha.
So I'm stoked. I can't wait to see what'll happen there. Do you care now? I mean, I know you didn't like Merle that much before. You didn't really care if he came back or not.
No, I care deeply now. Deeply.
Cool. Okay, and then I'm going to play part of Josie's Hall was a bit spoiler, so I saved it for this section. Here it is.
The whole Daryl character arc is pretty cool because Merle coming in next season or next week because that's what they showed us. And so I'm really excited because he's completely changing what I expected of him. And I know you guys were talking about what he might be in future episodes last podcast. So this whole Merle coming in now with Daryl being really sensitive and bringing in this flower to Carol.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we just said. Yeah, so should be cool. Okay, ready to close it out?
I'm ready.
All right, that's our show, episode 46. Thanks so much, you guys, for listening. You probably know we don't make any money at this. We do it just because we like it. So if you like what we're doing and you want to support us, we especially appreciate getting reviews or even just ratings where you just click a star rating on iTunes. The more reviews we get from you guys, the happier we are. So if you want to review or rate us, just find our podcast in iTunes, search on Walking Dead Cast, and look for the one from Jason Karen, and click on write a review. It's really easy, it's free, and we like it.
Stars make us happy.
And next week there's no live show again, but we will be back on November 21st at 5 p.m. Pacific. And if you want to hear the show live and chat with other people watching live, just go to walkingdeadcast.com/live at that time. In the meantime, if you want to give us a call, you can reach us at 650-485-DEAD. That's 650-485-3323.
You can email us at brains@walkingdeadcast.com.
And check out our website or leave comments at walkingdeadcast.com.
We're also on Twitter at Jason Karen and on Facebook at facebook.com/deadcast.
And I just wanted to mention that I called into the Talking Dead last week.
Did you really?
Yeah, and they played it on the show. I should play it back. But anyways, yeah, it was fun.
Rock and roll. What did you say?
I said, you guys rock. No, just what did I say? I don't know. I had a comment on something that they were talking about, unfinished storylines or something. But one thing that I realized when I called in was, oh, wow, I'm really nervous right now. Like, what if I mess up when I call, And I think a lot of people might not call in because they feel that way. It's a little nerve-wracking. You don't have any chance to do it over. But so I just want to tell you, if you feel like that, but you consider calling, just call in. And then if you mess up, just say, oh, I'm going to start over, and then just hang up and call back. And I promise I won't play you messing up. I'll just play the good one.
It's true.
Yeah. So, yeah. All right. That's our show.
Thanks for listening. Don't get
bit.
bit.